Hello everyone, Alzion the Great here. Welcome back to League of Legends Manager on MOBA GM. When we left off last time, SI Gaming not doing so hot as they are 0-7, 12th in the conference so far, with pretty sizable amount of season left to go. We're almost to the halfway point. And yeah, SI is bad. You can see the game log here. It's been a pretty much combination of just some bad sim games and some bad drafts. Mostly sim games. I haven't drafted a whole bunch. I think I've drafted like 3 out of the 7 games that we've played. But yeah, so far this meta, which is very confusing. We go to edit championship. Actually, it's not really. Just edit champion patch, which is what I use to change the meta from season to season. But if we go to champion basic, it basically Scion's number 1, and then everything else is a 3. A Soul is number 1. There's Annie and Karthus. Like mid's kind of open, or mid's kind of there's some good picks. Everything else is kind of wide open, and I honestly have trouble drafting in that kind of environment, which is why every other meta that we'll be using in seasons in the future will have a defined strengths and defined weaknesses. I guess you could say weaknesses, quote there. But yeah, the jungle has some picks as well. It's like as far as like top and mid, or sorry, top and AD carry, it's just straightforward. Scion's good, and then nothing else is separating from the pack, and AD carry nothing from Rhythm. And it's kind of tough for me. Finances are here. This is our current financing rate. I think it's a good spot to be. I could easily pump this up. God mode is on, which allows me to enable all this stuff, edit all that stuff, and I can't be fired regardless of how much in the hole we are. But yeah, this is our finances right now. We have made about $230,000. I think that's how that works. And we've expended a little bit. We have some hype, but not a whole bunch. And interestingly enough, you can see all the contracts throughout, or what players have contracts through. I don't know why it shows the 4th year. You can't really do 4-year contracts in this game, but yeah, that's it. Here is our starting roster for this episode. I don't think I'm going to make any changes to it just yet, although I am certainly looking for, potentially looking to change a couple people. Definitely Kirchhoff is definitely on the chopping block right now, but he still has a few, I think he still has a few more games to prove himself. And anyway, Excalibur is not that much better, so yeah, we'll see. But first game here, coach options. Oh yeah, this is something I didn't change, and this is probably something I'm going to change right now, as a matter of fact. We didn't really utilize this a whole bunch in the first 7 games. But basically, I can decide where the game goes. And as of right now, we need to focus top lane. I think focusing there would make sense. Let's leave Kirchhoff alone. And this is actually something that I've experimented with in my actual, in my, other saves that I have, where I experiment with a bunch of stuff, which is a completely different series, not any of the same rosters and start with them. But yeah, in that series, usually if you have a mid laner, it's completely fine if you leave them alone. Most teams don't attack mid, and for some reason, leaving them alone, and they somehow do well. So hopefully this will help Kirchhoff. He's one of our better players in terms of traits and everything, and the 3rd best player on the starting roster right now. I don't want to bench him, but this one KDA is not going to do anything. Speaking of KDAs and stuff, let's look at the league leaders right now. Taber leading the league in kills, Milikas leading the league in KDA with a 12-point KDA on Paladin. Cowboy is number 1 in assists with Anide, number 1 in CS. Obviously, we're not on any of these lists because, we are 0-7 and the worst team in the league. Where is our schedule? We'll take a look at our schedule. So these are the upcoming games. I use the games we've already played. I'd say let's get to this game. Let's get this game against Crystal today. So we're gonna go quite a sizable bit. I'd say let's sim these first two games. I'll draft a couple, and then we'll sim the Paladin game, and hopefully we'll get to the point we need to get to. So first, we need to sim these first three against 3 and 3 Silver Dragons, the 5 and 1 Primal Gaming, and 1 and 5 Imperium Aces. I hope we can win that. So yeah, well, let's go to game log real quick. I like simulating from game log because I just see the result here, and I don't want to see the result on the side. I have to go to game log again. So game 1. We do lose to the Silver Dragons in this game with our new, strategy. Mashed the mid lane. We went 802 on Nico. You see, nobody did particularly well. And I don't know about focusing top with the Kale, although this is, I think, old Kale. Not exactly sure what kind of Kale we're running here. But yeah, we just pretty much got smashed, like we have been all season. Let's quick look at the standings before we head back and simulate the second game. They lost to Primal Gaming. Yep. Focus top with an Ornn this time. Obviously, I can't control the draft picks when, I'm not drafting, and teams they'll draft hectically. Although in this meta, I'd understand them drafting hectically. Hopefully later we'll see more meta picks come out. But yeah, we are just not doing good at all. Quick look at the standings. The only reason I'm looking at the standings is I don't like to stay on that screen. There's no way I can get rid of it. So 1 week, third game, we lose to the Imperium Aces in a match I feel we had a chance to win in. Kirchhoff got a kill on mid-pike. Rounder didn't do terrible. We are just not doing good right now to start off this season. Yixog went 1-0-10 on Trundle. Jesus. Alright, so let's take a more in-depth look at the standings, as Paladin and Primal are both 8 and 1, Quantum at 7 and 2. And then there's Jade Crown at 6 and 3, which is interesting. In my simulations, Jade Crown never was ever that good. And Crystal at 3 and 6 also was never that bad. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like the simulations didn't really do much for me. Check out league leaders here once again. Tavere still leading the league in kills. Cowboy now leads the league in KDA and assists, and Anide still holds the CS record. Now there is team stats. So where do we sit? Well, obviously we are bottom third in the league in wins, and we are the last team in the league. Yeah, we're basically bottom of the league in everything, except first blood percentage. We get 50% first blood, or the middle third to that. So we have that going for us. Yeah, Kirchhoff and Rounder not doing so hot. So I think you're going to go ahead and make this switch. Kirchhoff will be benched, and Scalibur will come in to the mid lane. His debut. As far as Rounder goes, I don't really know. I don't think CJL is anywhere near ready to play. But yeah, we're gonna put Scalibur in the mid lane. Hopefully, this substitution can get us our first win. Obviously, I'm going to draft 2 games here. 1 against Paladin, 1 against the Aether Wolves. I'm going to sim our second game against Paladin, and that will be that. But yeah, let's take a look, an in-depth look at Paladin this season. Right now, Rusty is doing the best on Paladin in terms of KDA with 10.7. Also, Dark, Miper, Sanders, and Milikas. Teams often do not sub out players except certain situations which we'll hopefully not encounter in this series. Also, let me edit Yoma here to speak English. That's one thing I found since we moved to Canada. For some reason, don't speak English. It's weird. But yeah, Paladin, certainly a team to beat this season. Let's see if I can draft a way out of this. So I'm going to go ahead and change up the coach options just a little bit once again. We're going to less focus top and more focus mid, and we will not go bot. That's aggression. So early jungle focus, more in mid, whoa, stay out of the top a little bit, and go full camp in the jungle. There we go. We'll try to get advantages in the jungle. But I'll be back once I have drafted this game against Paladin. So, welcome back. Here was the draft. It's actually one I am very happy with. Despite us getting counterpicked a little bit. So, start out they banned Sion, Jinzhao, and Shyvana. We banned Fizz, Elise, and Katarina. I was mainly surprised after I banned Fizz, they banned Sion. I was like, okay, they're probably going to ban Aurelion Sol. Banned Elise to help protect the first pick Rek'Sai. They banned Jinzhao and then Shyvana after I banned Katarina, and I was like, okay, we're going to take Aurelion Sol here. They unfortunately picked Gangplank, which is a high counter to Aurelion Sol. They also picked Kali, which I was okay running that into. We picked Aatrox, who counters Gangplank, I think. Yeah, counters Gangplank. And then we picked Senna as a flex pick. They decided to snatch up Hecarim, which freed up the Rek'Sai, which means we didn't have to cover for him anymore. Decided to cover for AD carry Senna with Draven and Ezreal. They banned Bard Sona, picked Blitzcrank, which counters Senna, but as support, I guess. So we picked Rek'Sai, obviously, and Braum, and they picked Misfortune. I like our draft. We have counter picks of our own. We have a really good meta pick in Aurelion Sol, and yeah, I like the draft. So hopefully we can win. Wrong button. Not the it is not the browser version. We lose to Paladin. But hey, a lot more kills this time. Although Miker's Akali 8, 2, and 5 definitely got out of hand. Although I don't really think that was the issue in this game. I like it. It was a closer game against, you know, one of the league's top teams. And I actually quite like the draft and quite like this result, although we did not win. Excalibur's debut, not terrible. 2-3-2 on Aurelion Sol. And yeah, so our next game is against the 4-7 Aether Wolves. We'll take a look at them. They have obviously one of the best top laners in the league, for some reason making 200k in Vincent Datafuse Kenny, excuse me. They also have Paula, Prior, Amanatsu, and Smokey. No surprise starters, I don't think. Actually, a little bit. Prior over DBS, but I guess I could see why they'd started. Prior is actually their highest KDA leader, as a Datafuse not having the greatest year, I guess. 2.9, it's not terrible. I mean, Aether Wolves are 4-7 right now, not doing so hot, so I guess it's not exactly unexpected. I'm going to keep the same draft thing. Ooh, we're on red side for this one. I'm excited. I'm going to keep the same draft, but yeah, I won't keep the same draft. I'll keep the same coach options. Keep the same coach options, and I'll see you guys after the draft here for game 2. Alright guys, so welcome back. Here is how the draft panned out. We banned Elise, Fizz, and Morgana. They banned Set, Sion, and Aurelion Sol. 3 very good bans for this game. Sorry, I was distracted. Yeah, Set, Scion, and Lilian Soul, Set, and Aesol are considered number 1. Set is actually a really good flex pick, I did not know that. But they first picked Kale. In response to that, we picked Pantheon. Mainly, I had the intention of countering Kale with it because it is on Kale's counter list, and we picked Senna for obviously the flexibility in bot lane. They responded with Cassio Zyra. Cassio is just the mid laner, and Zyra counters Senna. We picked Zoe, which interestingly enough does well into Kale. It's the number 1 counter for some weird reason, and into Zoe. And Cassio could also count as Cassio, so Excalibur's set to have a big game here. He has the counter pick. We then banned Draven and Callista. They banned Nidalee and Udyr, and that Nidalee and Udyr ban really tempted me to pick Kindred, but I just kind of decided I want to go with Nunu. They picked Camille to be their jungler. Actually counters Nunu. Wow, I'm actually surprised. Nunu is actually one of the very few picks in this meta, and like overall in the game, where I'm like, yeah, you can't really counter Nunu. But actually they found a champion that does. I'm really surprised. But yeah, they picked Camille and Jhin. We responded with a support Nautilus. Felt like we need more of a tank. Then Nunu or Pantheon. So yeah, I like our draft. But usually I like the draft when we fail anyway, so can we get our first win here? Almost ended the recording for no reason. 1 week. We lose to the Aether Wolves. The Cassiopeia did really good, 6-1-3, despite being in a counter matchup. Data Fuse's Kale did not do good. It's obviously a down year for him, but Flyer is proving to be the surprise man of the year right now for Aether Wolves. Rounder 5-1 on Senna. I think it's time for him to be benched. Gallagher's done good in his 2 games that I've seen him so far. Sowers did pretty good, 3-0-1 on the Pantheon. Just sad we could translate that into a lead. Amanatsu got a kill on the Rounder. Well, we know how that went. Yeah, we lose yet another game. SI sits at 0-12. Before we go off, let's sim one more game here, and we'll see how we do against Paladin for the 2nd time, and without me drafting. We lost, unsurprisingly. As yep, first bad game for Excalibur as he got destroyed by Miker's Zillion this time. Oh, of course they drafted Draven after the 1 game I don't ban Draven. Sibber MF bot lane, are you sure about that? This is just a wacky team comp. We need to get out of this gear, not only from a team perspective, but from a meta perspective. Here are the standings after 14 weeks, 13 weeks roughly. Paladin sits atop the leaderboards at 11-1 with Primal at 10-2. Obviously, or actually, before I say that, Quantum at 9-3 rounds out the top. We are 0-13, as it is not going well. As far as league leaders, we have a new kill leader. Madrugad now leads the league in kills. Cowboy still leads the league in KDA, although he has been overtaken by Milikos in the race for assists. While Anide held strong this episode in the CS department. But thank you all for watching. It's been actually a really fun episode. Sorry I didn't get it out yesterday. It just really didn't, or actually not even yesterday, on Sunday. It just really didn't work out. And I think I'm probably going to permanently move this series to today, which I am planning to upload this on Tuesday. So yeah, we're moving this series to Tuesday most likely. As you can see, all the team leaders and stats. We're bottom of the league and everything pretty much. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.